Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. Name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch, and today we're going to recap the epic middleweight title fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, also known as Triple G. Now, I hope you guys caught Rob's initial reaction. He watched the fight live, put up a video, gave his initial thoughts. We talked about it, of course, on the phone, off camera. I've watched the fight several times, and now I'm going to give you the recap. So, I'm sure you guys have seen pretty much all there is to say about this fight. It was a very, very good fight. Probably one of the fights of the year. Back and forth action. The top guys in the division. Close fight. And I think everybody got what they paid for in this fight. Now, to go into the action of what happened in the fight, that's where a lot of the debates happen. Because if you go based on scoring criteria round by round, that is where you get your scoring discrepancies. Remember, boxing scoring is subjective, so you have a lot of different factors going into how somebody is scoring a fight. So you get round one where you have Canelo going forward, throwing lots of combos. He's not landing everything, but he's throwing a lot of judge-friendly punches. We talked about this in the preview video, that Canelo would be throwing judge-friendly punches, where you know he's throwing, you know he's landing, and the crowd is going to react when he does. And you have Golovkin, who is a very steady, very powerful fighter that has the pinnacle of technical precision. So you've got these two guys where one guy is going to be landing steadily, consistently, and the other guy is landing showy, even though it's in spurts. Now, for the actual fight, we didn't get a lot of that. Triple G was very busy throughout the fight, especially with his jab, and Canelo, to his credit, did a lot better with his work rate than he did in the first fight. And of course, because he got the victory, it served him well. So, talking about judging the fight. Now, judges are supposed to take one round at a time, take the action in that round, score it, and then forget about it. But we know we're dealing with human beings here. And we're also dealing with human beings who have seen both of these fighters fight several times. One of the judges, Steve Weisfeld, was a judge on both the first and the second fight. So he comes in with the knowledge of what he saw before, the knowledge of what he knows about these fighters, and that is very important because the personas of these fighters also come into play when they're scoring this fight. So like I said, you got Canelo, who is usually a pretty laid-back guy. He likes to bob, weave, counter, and combination. We've talked about this in the preview video and several other Canelo fight videos. He likes to throw his combination, wait for you to counter, slip that, and then come back with more punches. That was on display Saturday night. Gennady Golovkin, we normally see him going forward, pressing the pace behind that shotgun textbook jab, landing crisp hooks, sharp right hands, and usually breaking his opponent down. The lower the tier, the faster they break. So, when we see a guy who's normally going forward all the time, now retreating to someone who especially the first time they fought, do you have a history of fighting this guy? He usually is the guy that is attempting to be slick, especially in the first fight, where you're not supposed to be scoring that first fight. But like I said, these are human beings. I guarantee you they had the first fight in their mind. So you see Canelo going forward, Triple G not going forward like he usually does. You're starting to give several rounds to Canelo. On top of him throwing those sustained, judge-friendly outbursts. Now, the caveat to that is, if you know the history of Triple G, you know that this man is an Olympic silver medalist with over 300 amateur fights. A very, very, very good amateur record. Do you not think that this guy has the ability to box off the back foot? Even if we're used to seeing him come forward, if he starts to retreat and is still effective, he is still effective. So you still have to give him credit based on that. And I think the judges, and especially the fans, did. But then again, when it comes to Canelo, on the internet, this guy can do no right. So we're not even going to talk about that. So watching this fight round by round, you do get the feeling that Canelo is getting the best of the action. When you look at ring generalship, when you look at effective aggressiveness, you see Canelo coming forward. You see him throwing combinations, landing judge-friendly punches. Whereas you see Golovkin, he's missing a lot. He's very accurate with his jab, but Canelo is countering him while he's being active with that jab. So as these rounds go on, you see even a slowdown from Golovkin, if even a small slowdown. He did look really, really slow in this fight, unfortunately. But with all that being said, he was still very much in this fight. Go back to the preview video. Rob and I picked Golovkin. We thought that we would see pretty much the exact same fight, whereas Canelo was going to try to matador him, counter him, and just do it more often, whereas Golovkin would just pick up the pace to try to break Canelo even more, possibly get a stoppage. We did not get that. We got someone who took the bait. Canelo, after hearing for a solid year that he did not fight in the Mexican style, he ran. He was scared. All of this stuff coming from the Golovkin camp. It's like, hey, when we fight, we want you right in the middle. We want you Mexican style. We want you to come forward. And he did. Now, you get conflicting results from the camp. You goad him into having this Mexican style, and then when he gives you what you want, you become the matador. Like I said, that's going to be in the judges' minds. These people are reading headlines just like everyone else. You see that, you're like, hey, this guy is not doing what he said he was going to do. It looks like this guy is doing what he wants to do. That's who you give the round to. Like I said, it's subjective. Because as the fight starts to wear on, Golovkin gets more accurate. Golovkin starts to really turn on the activity, and Canelo's activity drops for a little while. So we start to get what happened in the first fight. But on the flip side, he's still coming forward. Not like in the first fight where he was backing up. And keep in mind, this is outside of that ridiculous scorecard, was also another close fight. So you have Golovkin starting to come on in those mid to late rounds, But Canelo is still looking like he's the one trying to make the fight. Remember, you always hear Harold Letterman, which is very strange that he didn't give this fight to Canelo from what he always gives the scoring criteria. He's always talking about the person going forward, always talking about the person pushing the fight, and Canelo does that, and he ends up not giving it to him. Subjective. Totally his prerogative. Now, a lot of people are bringing up the punch stats. Like the judges are sitting there looking at punch stats. They don't have that option. We can see that on TV. It gives you a glimpse of how the fight is going. I have it pulled up here. There was a difference in about 30 punches landed for Triple G and Canelo. Triple G landed about 30 more punches. Now, you spread that out over 12 rounds, that is highly negligible. Canelo landed about 30 more power punches. Over the course of 12 rounds, pretty negligible. That's when people go into the, look at his face. You can't score off of what someone's face looks like because you don't know how their face takes damage. Rob and I have talked about this before. You have to go round by round. And this is a fight where it just goes into what you think happened in that round. So 7-5 either way is a good score. Even 8-4 either way is a good score because these guys fought very closely in every single round. There may have been 1 to 2 rounds where it's like, yeah, he really won that round. I think round 10 for Triple G was that round. Round maybe 3 for Canelo was that, where you really see, man, he is really doing the superior work in this round. The rest of the rounds, completely a toss-up. The first round, toss-up. The 12th round was one where we got a lot of controversy. A lot of people scored that round for Triple G. The judges scored it for Canelo. Broken record here. Subjective. So what happens is you get the internet ruining what was a good fight because they're screaming robbery. Every time someone that you like does not win, does not mean that they got robbed. Y'all got to get that emotional crap out of here. The man lost a tough fight. It happens. I understand that. So, Triple G, understandably upset, leaves the ring, does an interview. Can you imagine if that was somebody else? Like, imagine Danny Garcia did that. Can you imagine how upset the internet would be if Danny Garcia left the ring after losing to Sean Porter, after believing he won the fight, and they gave it to the other guy and he leaves the ring? They'd be crucifying this man. But it would still be understandable. If I'm Triple G, this is my first loss in a decade, I'm going to be upset too. But that's neither here nor there. What happens next? So, Canelo is probably going to fight David Lemieux. He had a highlight reel knockout on the undercard against Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Both under Golden Boy. Very easy fight to make. Triple G, we're not quite sure what's going to happen. He wants the third fight. Canelo said he's open to the third fight. I think they owe the fans a third fight. We had 2 very good fights. They're 2 of the best guys in the division. Why not do it again? We got a draw. We got a win for Canelo. Both fights very disputed. We got 4 Marquez Pacquiao's. Let's do it. Keep it going. Now, one thing, in my opinion, that they should not do is fight Jamal Charlo. Neither one of them. Don't do it. Not a good idea. For the Charlo fans, they're probably mad that I'm saying this. For the Triple G and Canelo fans, they're probably mad I'm saying that. But based on what we saw in that ring on Saturday, that's a bad style matchup for both of those guys. But eventually they're going to have to do it. Maybe even Triple G rematches Danny Jacobs. That could be something after he beats, if he beats Derevyanchenko, who is a very capable fighter who they are very familiar with because they were both in the same camp. I'm not sure how they're training with that because they have the same trainer. I'm going to have to look into that once it gets closer to that fight. But we as internet people should not be downplaying the excellence we saw Saturday night because our guy lost. We saw a great fight between the two best middleweights in the world, a close fight, an enjoyable fight, and we should enjoy what we were able to witness on Saturday night. I know, people have their loyalties and everything, but unless these guys are actually paying you out of their pocket, they're entertaining us. And they entertained us Saturday night. So let's enjoy that. Then move on to the next fight. We got Joshua Povetkin this weekend. Very good fight. I think Rob may be doing that one. I haven't hit him up to see if he is yet. But that's going to be the next video you see from us. Joshua Povetkin preview, then the Joshua Povetkin recap. We also got UFC 229 coming up, which is Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov in a highly anticipated fight. Also on that card, you got Tony Ferguson versus Anthony Pettis, which is an amazing fight as well. I'll probably be giving you guys that one next week. Leave your thoughts on the fight below. What I don't want to hear is any disparaging remarks towards any of the fighters. Or if someone comments and you don't like what they say, don't want any disparaging comments towards them. We keep it respectful, knowledgeable, and if you aren't able to fully articulate how you feel without putting somebody down, this ain't the place for you. So if you are a little bit more intelligent and are able to put your point across intelligently, we want to hear from you. Hit us up on social media at Capital Combat. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon because, like you said, we get you videos at least once or twice a week. Follow us on Instagram. We got videos. Rob came to the gym, filmed me working with one of our guys. He's going to be putting that highlight package together for me pretty soon. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, fight on.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and cost. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick rhyme, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.